to round up. So, Oga Chris, you obviously when you finish talking, whatever left in the minutes should be shared for the final submission. So that we can analyze this properly. Thank you very much, everyone. God bless you. Oga Chris, good evening to you, sir. Talk to us.
Yeah, no, sir. Good evening, Mr. Nanjaro, Obuta. Thank you very
Thank you, sir.
much for this opportunity. And guys, congratulations. We have 1 hour to keep on to interrogate these issues that Oga Nanjaro has presented. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wherever you are listening to us from every part of the world, we want to say thank you for being able to make it to this program today and allowing us to want to appreciate you even as you keep on doing what you can in order to rescue Nigeria from these shackles of poverty, unemployment, diseases, sickness, and everything that you can think of. And people that are calling in, we thank you so much. People in the comment section, it's good to be with all of you. And the silent listeners, like I always say, completely believe that the silent people are more than the people that are very active. So I want to extend my special greetings to all of you. And the people on the panel with me, Jonathan, welcome, Black Panther, Ipaudua, our Dream Nation, also known as King Alabo, and Mommy Diaspora, very special Monday greetings to you. Thank you so much. We appreciate your effort and dedication. And so the panelists that are not immediately here, I want to extend my greetings to you people. The chief amongst them is give us our mandate. Not seen you for some time. I hope you are good. We miss you. And Madam Rita, the Amazon amongst us, Madam Adama, I remember clearly. Good evening to all of you. Well, I'll just pick it up from where I think from where Oga Jonathan and the Paudua left it off. That problem of talking last. You barely have anything to say. Now, concerning that insecurity, what happened in Ogbomosho, I think the opposition also have a role to play. The opposition, all of them, the NDC, the APC, the ADC, all the other oppositions, they all have a role to play. I think they should also be speaking out against this, not necessarily weaponizing it, but not just speaking in general terms, as in there is insecurity in Nigeria. They have to keep, they just have to keep re-echoing this. Because it's not the first time. Nobody is going to say they are weaponizing insecurity. No, nobody is going to say that because it happened before. Buhari used it to campaign. Tinubu used it to campaign. The likes of Bakari and the so-called ministers, the so-called ministers of God today, the self-appointed messiahs, they all used it to campaign. So I don't see any reason why our people, the people in opposition, why they cannot do that also. They should bring these issues to the front burner. Even though I agree completely with the last two speakers I mentioned, that yes, the people that are primarily involved, they should be at the forefront. Yeah, they ought to be at the forefront. But the way it is now, they've dropped the ball. So the next set of people that should make these issues burning, bring it to national discourse, should be the people, the opposition, the leading opposition figure. They can tweet about it. They can have their spokespeople talk about this, re-echo these issues, and before you know, others will pick up. Because what people just need generally in life, what I've come to realize is that people need leaders. No matter how you look at it, people always need leaders, and it's not everybody that has that leadership capabilities. So that's that for insecurity. And on my own part, my own is just to kind of remind everybody how we got to this point we are. This insecurity, it came in the first place because they wanted to topple a government. It is those people they imported. If I say they, I mean Buhari, I mean Tinubu, I mean everybody that are supporting the APC today. They imported these guys to come and disrupt a government. And today, the rest, like they say, is history. Those people they imported, they are still there committing havoc. They've not gone. And you have spiritual leaders, especially Muslim leaders, supporting these people, making ways for them. And the matter of Izala movement, that's Shegumi. If you guys know what the Izala movement is, it's a form of a very dangerous Islam. You must know, you see those people, those Islam where they wear short trousers, that's the Zala movement. It was founded by Sheikh Gumi. That's why he supports these people with everything he has. So it is in order that the opposition, they have to capitalize on this and make the campaign, let the people know that this is wrong. You take a teacher and chopped off his head like you are in a slaughterhouse, and the whole nation goes silent as if nothing is. Oh, come on. We have to do better than this. And if you must know, the chief in charge during the military time, during that failed military people, when they keep budgeting excess funds to these people to do what I don't know. Brutai is now in Benin Republic, being your ambassador, somebody that should be facing war crime for genocide against its own people. Is there as an ambassador. So that is the country that we have found ourselves. But unfortunately, there's hardly anything any person can do as long as the system is set up like this. Because the people that ought to take action, they are actually the people that are perpetuating the crime. So what are you going to do? Completely nothing. And that brings me to the next question. You know, it's about IPOB again and this the Biafran people. It was part of this insecurity that led Mazin Nnamdi Kanu to kind of separate his people from Nigeria. He said, if this insecurity must continue, then I have to protect my people. So that's why I said I agreed with Oga Odu and Mr. Jonathan. The charity ought to begin from home. That's exactly what Mazin Nnamdi Kanu was doing. I said he has to protect his people. If you cannot protect Nigeria, then give me Biafra. Now the reason I brought that in for somebody like a certain Dave Umahi, the betrayer number one, to say that Tinubu is Biafra, I think that staggers my imagination. You know, yesterday, Nigeria was playing a video of Father Mbaka. And I was like, yes, that video, somebody was trying to say the video had no relevance. I said, no, it had a very big relevance. Let's know the saboteurs amongst us. Let's keep re-echoing what they have said in the past so that whatever they say during this election cycle, people will be able to disregard them. Because when Mbaka made those comments, remember, some people today that are voting age, they were just how many years then? Maybe 15. Some of them even less than that. But today, these people are adults. Probably 3, 4, 5 years ago, they were not politically oriented. But today, they are oriented, so they must know who these people are. And that was just yesterday. And today, Umahi has come out to say that Tinubu is the Biafra, that they, oh, come on. Do you know how many people that died there? The blood that was spilled on the streets of the Igbo land, and somebody, because of probably a vice presidential slot in 2031, which is not even sure of, bringing down the whole Igbo people because of what? And you should remember, like I said yesterday, Rochas did more than this. At the end of the day, what happened to Rochas? And the same thing goes to, what was his name? Okonkwo, the likes of the many Igbos that think that they can betray their own or betray Nigeria for that matter just because of personal gain. The article that you destroyed completely, you're coming back to support the same person. Is that not shameful? Is that not disgraceful? This kind of people we can trust. Imagine you have those people as your second in command or your close ally. It was Black Panther that referred to the second in command of Awolowo, who betrayed the action group. Then that person was Akintola. What was the question? The question was like Black Panther said, the same thing that we are having today. Awolowo wanted the action group and whatever to remain in the Southwest, to largely remain a regional party, control the narratives from there. But Akintola was his second in command, said, no, no, no. Oga, we have to be part of the national. What is the national question he was talking about? Wanted to unite with the North so that they can have a common. Whereas he was just out and about fighting for his own self. And the rest, let's say, also his history. It led to the Operation Waiti, the Wild West. And that was it. The coup finally came in 1966. And Akintola was taken out in that coup. So the same thing you have the likes of Okonkwo, they preach as if they want the national question. They keep saying they want to take Igbos to the center, just like Akintola said he wants to take the southwest to the center. What center? Does the center have to revolve around the northern people? Does it? Because if you look at all the indices of underdevelopment, it's coming from that section of the country. They wouldn't grow, they wouldn't allow people that want to grow to grow. They want to hold everybody down with different Machiavellian principle. You have the quota system, the wait for me syndrome or bringing down syndrome, or this northwest divide and north south divide, power rotation, irrespective of who is most qualified. At the end of the day, black people, you wonder why we are where we are. And the protest we talk about, that also brings to another wider question. Comparing developed nations like US or any other country to Nigeria, I think it's a bit infantile in the sense that we don't have any homogeneity. We are not citizens in Nigeria. We are just people living in Nigeria. We are not homogeneous. There's nothing really binding us together. If you want to start the protest from the south side, for example, the people in the southwest, they will ask you, is it your problem? If you want to start it in the north, the people in the southwest, they will say because Tinubu is the president, so you want to use your problem to destabilize their brother. The same thing goes around across all regions. We are not the same people. Development is going to be very difficult. Black people, wake up. Wake up. Diversity like we have is very difficult to make a nation prosper with this level of diversity. Unless we have that thing that's joining everybody together, there has to be one national question, whether a national language, a national religion, a national ethics, national morality, or national standard. And it is only Peter Obi that is willing to set that national standard. What is that national standard? Because as it stands, we cannot adopt a national language, cannot adopt a national religion. But that national standard can be created by Peter Obi because of who he is. National standard is to kill corruption, fight insecurity, and bring succor to the common man on the street. Once we set that standard, then successive governments, hopefully, they can continue along that trajectory, along that path. But in Nigeria, it will be difficult to achieve that because the very people that benefit from the disruption in the system, they are also the people that the president of this great nation. See, it's not going to happen by fiat. It's not going to happen by prayer. It's not going to happen by wishes. There are so many countries that have been tied together, and just because the standards from both sides were different, they had to go their separate ways. Look at Indonesia and Malaysia, one country, they couldn't do it, they have to go their separate ways. Many countries, I'm not even here to start listing countries, that could not hold it together. They have to go their separate ways. Many countries, unless you set that standard that can unite everybody together, without that, we just continue dancing in circles without any form of movement. And that brings me to the South African question. You see, the problem in South Africa, I was very happy when Peter Obi showed up there. This is one of the things oppositions they should be doing. Why? What has Atiku said about the killings in South Africa? Nothing. And the other people, the likes of Amechi, that's just shouting all over the place like a rabid dog. Nothing to offer, nothing up there. Just shouting, talking, empty. These are issues that the opposition should be dancing on. If you must know, it's no longer a South African problem because, see, the guys in Botswana, the Botswana president has already taken a stance against South Africa. They cancelled their visa-free policy. They blocked their border with South Africa. They went to go and reunite with Rwanda, took all the government investment from South Africa straight to Rwanda, not until South Africa is ready to do something. I'm saying this because Peter Obi, His Excellency, said something in South Africa that, look, you are treated, any nation you find yourself, you are treated the way your nation treats you first. If your nation does not treat you well, don't expect to be treated specially in anywhere you go. And if you must know, it's not just only about Nigerians, irrespective of any theory. Nigerians say they know they do well. What about the Ghanaians there? What about the Zimbabweans there? What about other black people there in South Africa? Is it not the same treatment? The same treatment, because look at what happened to the Ghanaian citizen that was there. What happened? After that harassment that went viral, the Ghanaian ambassador, they called the South African ambassador, and that guy that they embarrassed, the Ghanaian president and the politicians there, they rehabilitated that guy and gave him honor, dignity of a citizen of Ghana. That is how you treat citizens. But what do we have? A faith system coming to very dark man. You see, what I see in this very dark man's issue is this. It's going to get to a stage. I just hope it doesn't. That very dark man is not going to use the supporters of Peter Obi as an excuse why he's not going to support Peter Obi. Because a lot of them, I've seen lots of people that are just looking for an easy scapegoat. They'll come out and say, oh, well, I would have supported Peter Obi. The only thing I don't like about him, the way he supports us, they are always attacking people. They are always so disrespectful. We have seen it so many times. We have seen it so many times. And I hope this is not how very dark night is going to end. Because at the end of the day, you cannot tell me that as difficult as things are in Nigeria, you don't have a place where you stand yet, or it is not clear where you stand. It ought to be clear for people. If you are talking, people should immediately know that this is where you stand. That's just much I have
That is
about.
how pastors do.
Yeah, so that's just the little I have about very dark man. And if you want to know, now that he raised the Natasha versus what was his name, Yaya Bello. See, guys, if we don't participate in politics, I think somebody was mentioning that it was somebody, one of the panelists said, no, people say politics, I don't get time. Not get time for politics now. Not get time. The rats and rabbits will ever be your leader. They will make laws for you, and you will abide by those laws. If you don't, they will give you maximum punishment. The reason I'm saying this, the political season is still open. Everybody be part of this process. The Natasha Yaya Bello issue, that's why I'm actually saying this. Now, guys, remember Natasha and Yaya Bello. They were both in APC. Natasha fought Yaya Bello to a standstill. Natasha was going to defeat Yaya Bello by everything possible. And she was there, she was leading. They were fighting together, not until there was a meeting in Kogi State. Guess who? The Inspector General of Police. That's actually the person I want to talk about. During Buhari's time, Adamu, the Inspector General of Police, he was there in the hall. Natasha was there. Yaya Bello was there. And talks. These ragtag armies they imported from all over the Africa to come and destabilize Nigeria. Along with Yaya Bello's talks, they embarrassed this woman. There was nothing they didn't do to this Natasha. In that hall, Inspector General of Police was. So what Natasha is facing, it didn't start today. Inspector General of Police was in the same hall. They embarrassed this woman and chased her out of that place. Because that was the build-up to Yaya Bello becoming the governor of.
That was where she was attacked. Now she was attacked.
Yes, when she was attacked. It's not even the
Well,
attack.
they stab her for face.
Yeah, it's not even that one I'm talking about. What I'm talking about now is that you see that Inspector General of Police, he lost the APC ticket as governor of APC in Nasarawa State. And now he's threatening to move to another political party. Of course, you and I know the political party is threatening to move into. Everybody wants to come to the NDC. That Inspector General of Police is warming up. So, guys,
no, it's not coming to NDC. It's going to ADC.
It's the purpose of the.
See, it's going to Atiku.
It's going to Atiku. Yeah, we can never ever tell because The reason why it looks as if it's going to the ADC now, Atiku, because of time, that was why I skipped that part. Now, Atiku already has his marshal, people he promised positions across all states, because those are the people that we are going to get in the ticket of the presidency. So the problem is that what is that man that Atiku already chose for the governorship position, what is that one going to do? That one has vehemently said that he is not leaving anywhere. He's not going out anywhere for anybody. So that's the fight they are having on one side. Like I said, I didn't want to go into that because of the problem. So, guys, the whole idea about the argument is this: if you leave the space open, people will come in and take over the space. I don't want to go further than this. I don't spend much time. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and it's good to be with all of us again. So, the remaining time we have to spend it judiciously. And the Black Panther, I think you have the floor.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. You explained it more better.